Hey, hello people, Fisaya here. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I talk about faith, lifestyle. I also review books and magazines. Thank you so much to my new subscribers and to my returning subscribers. You are amazing. Let's just put it. Simply put, you are just brilliant. I love you all so much. I'm super, super grateful. Okay, so in this video is another answer about giving birth in the UK. So let's get started. I'm going to link a video. I'm going to put a link in the description box below about my, shocking experience. I think I have over 4,000 views on that video. And it just goes to show that a lot of people are interested. I know a lot of videos about UK giving birth, how much it costs, what do I need to do, that sort of thing. And I'm just going to answer one of your questions and also give you my experience with my children, when I had them. So when you give birth in the UK, the lady asks if everybody had to do C-section, like you have to be forced to do C-section, that they don't let women give birth vaginally, okay? But I said to her, no, it's not the case. I mean, there could be elective cesarean section if you don't want to go through, the natural route. You can go for the elective one. But if not, if they see that you're in pain and trauma and the baby is not progressing and labor is not progressing, they will do I'm mixing a selective, elective. They will do an operation. Okay, I'm mixing the elective and selective together. So that's the only way they will do an operation for you. So it's either, let's just put it in the simple language, it's either you choose it or they choose it for you. And when they choose it for you, is because you are in trauma and the baby is in trauma, and of course you have to sign, and your partner has to sign. So it's not the case of they will, make you sleep and then by the time you wake up, hey, the baby's here and you've been cut open. No, it's going to be with your consent. Okay, so you're not forced to have your baby through C-section. I hope I've been able to answer that question. And then the other ones I want to talk about is my experience with my 3 children. Okay, so with all 3 of them, I had something called morning sickness. I know a lot of pregnant women, and not even pregnant women, would know about this. It's when you're just sick, like physically vomiting all through, the first few months. Sometimes I don't even know, like the first few pregnancies, I didn't even know I was pregnant, to be honest, because since getting married, my period is just a bit up and down, sometimes it's just whenever I go, like, yeah. I'm not too worried about it because I'm just not worried. And it's just a very interesting one. So most of the times I didn't even know I was pregnant, but immediately I test for pregnancy and it's positive. Few weeks after that, I have morning sickness. And I always think to myself, maybe I should, maybe I just shouldn't test, because as soon as I test, it just happens. But, some people say they have morning sickness from conception to maybe the first or second trimester, and then it gets better. For me, as soon as I find out and I know, I think my body just gives me 1 or 2 weeks to adjust to the shock, and then it just kicks in. For all my children, I had morning sickness. None of them. I did not escape any of them. And so that was something that I had. I've been able to manage it somehow with cravings. So with the first one, it was just noodles, like the real Indomie noodles. If you don't know Indomie noodles, just Google it, you'll find out what Indomie noodles are. So that was the one I craved, and I was able to eat it. So once I eat it, very spicy, you have to add a lot of spice to it for it to be able to taste nice on my palate. Let's just put it that way. My second child, it has to be Chinese food. And my third child, it was smoothies. So it was just very funny because they were all very different things, and it was just all different things. But those are the things that helped me pull through, that time, because nothing else would work, nothing else. And another good thing is, if I don't cook the food, somehow I can eat it. But if I stay in the kitchen and cook the food, I can't eat that food. So, but I'm grateful my husband was able to, prepare the meal. We had friends and family, church friends that could also support and help, with the pregnancy phase. And then fast forward, I've done another video on prenatal, actual delivery, and postnatal, so you can go and check that as well. I'll put a link in the description box below. So the first one was the most dramatic, as a new mom, first time mom. I went into the delivery room with the mind of, it's going to be hard. I remember meeting a lady who said, oh, when you want to have your child, your back just goes, your back, becomes very painful, as if it's going to break in half. And that just scared me. I was like, God, I don't want a back pain, and she was like, no, you can't escape it. And so I've heard a lot of things and thought a lot of things, and as a new young mom, I didn't know what to do. So because I've already had that mind that it's going to be painful, I didn't pray or trust God about it. I just felt it's going to be painful. Yeah, I experienced the worst case scenario. Like people say, oh, labor pain or delivery pain is the most difficult pain, is the worst pain in the world that you can experience, and it just does not go away until the baby's here. And then it was just very scary. So I went into the delivery room with that mindset, and man, it was very difficult. Oh my goodness, it was so difficult. And at some point I was in trauma, my baby was in trauma, and they were already asking for the doctors to come and have a look, and then maybe take me to the theater for a cesarean section. Okay, luckily, that's why you need to pray before you go into the delivery suite, because God can just send people to you when you least expect. So luckily, while they were still contemplating, okay, let her push, let her this, let her, people were there, the midwives, the doctors, the anesthetics, the lady, and they were all just there trying to help this young woman with this baby, And a lady walked in and was like, no, let's just give it one more chance, right? Lady, look at me. Do you want to have this baby? I was like, yeah, I've had enough. And meanwhile, they gave me gas and air, and some people say it makes you faint, but I didn't really feel that the gas and air was doing anything. I was just like, to distract me, but it wasn't doing anything for me. Maybe because I was more focused on the pain. I've been told it will be painful, and I stick to that. So the lady just spoke to me very strictly and sternly, like African mom, and I said, yes, I want to have the baby. And she was like, right, you're going to listen to me now, push. And then after a few pushes, the baby came out. So it was a good one. I'm grateful. And then the second child, I got a book. I'm going to put the link in the description box below. It's called The Supernatural Childbirth, and it was just amazing. Like, somebody gave the book, told me when they heard about my first experience, told me about the book, and I bought the book on Amazon, and it was fantastic. I read the book. I said, wow, so you can have a pain-free childbirth. Let's go for this. I was so excited for my second child, And I got the book, read it, devoured it, prayed it, and did everything. Even with my husband, read it together and did everything. And man, it was just, I got there. In fact, by the time I got to the hospital, I was ready, like 10 centimeters dilated. And the midwife just said, oh, she doesn't, because I looked very calm, like, this lady is not ready. And she said that, okay, let me just check her, because she actually had a tray of medication. She was going off to give somebody some medicine, and she said, let me just check her. I don't think she'll be ready. When she checked me, the head of my child was actually ready to pop out. And she was like, whoa, quick, into the room. Went into the room. After a few pushes, got the baby out, and then she actually, for you to know she's not prepared, she actually wrote it on a piece of tissue, because she had to write the name, the time it came out, the weight and all those things. It was on a tissue paper because she was just not ready. You know, she was the only one there. And then once the baby was out, cleaned it, gave the baby to me and nursed it. And then she said, oh, she has to go off to go and give the medication to who she was actually going to give it to. So anyway, and that was the second one. Very quick, easy, because of knowledge. You know, the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge. If you have the knowledge and the understanding and God on your side, honestly, you can have a pain-free, excited but happy delivery. My third child, right? So with the first one, I wasn't working, so I had all the time. The second one, I was working part-time. And the third one, I was working full-time, okay? So with the third child, because I was working full-time, my school was kind of on a hill. So I had to walk a few, like 5, 6, 7 minutes up the hill to the school. But luckily, I was able to get a parking slot not far from the school, like kind of halfway between. And that saved my legs a bit. But then, even though, because I had him being pregnant and then the other two that also needed attention, I wasn't actually resting the way I should rest or read or, you know, just enjoy being a pregnant woman, that sort of thing. I was working. So it was a very good delivery, but my feet were swollen, okay? So I couldn't put on shoes that well. I raced it up with everything, but it wasn't just working. And then with my supernatural childbirth, I kind of read it, but not really read it because I was working, and obviously the other two and ministry and so many things were really taking my time. So, but it wasn't too bad actually. It wasn't too bad. It was not as easy as the second, but it wasn't as bad as the first. Just put it that way, you know. So, but it was a quick one as well, and even when the labor started, it was very easy, kind of gentle at first until it got to the active stage and the baby came out. So all three of them, something in common: morning sickness, and all three of them were late. None of them came. I know, I kind of envy women when they say, oh, my baby came 2 weeks early, 1 week early. No, my babies came, in fact, 2 weeks late, more than a week late, that sort of thing, you know. So that's one thing in common for all three of them, but all three of them are unique and they're all different, and I love them to bits, you know. I'm grateful that God has entrusted me with them. So that's my story. I hope I've been able to encourage you in one way or the other. And make sure you just share this video with somebody that you think it might be helpful to. And most importantly, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Whatever you do, make sure you keep going, keep moving, and don't stop. Till I see you in the next one. Bye.